I'm Isabella. My husband slept with my best friend. She's having his child. My parents' death wasn't an accident. They planned it all. Now I'm done being kind. I will make them suffer the worst pain.
Want a divorce? Do you believe I can make you disappear by tomorrow? If you want a divorce, you'll waive all marital assets and sign the contract to transfer half of the company to me. Bitch, you're asking for it.
Jack's grip around my neck tightened, and a strong sense of suffocation engulfed me. I stared into the bloodshot eyes of him and smiled the most relaxed smile I'd had in 10 years. This recording would be enough to be key evidence. I screamed loudly with my back to the surveillance camera. I know I was wrong, honey. Please don't hit me anymore. After beating me, Jack hugged me and threatened me gently.
Your parents are already dead. You only have me. Be obedient, and I'll treat you well too.
Listening to his disgusting words, I held back my laughter. We had been married for 10 years, but he had cheated on me with my best friend Sophia and even made her pregnant. I had asked my husband for a divorce, but just 3 days after my parents died in a car accident, Jack showed up at my door, trying to drive me away and force me to sign a document, waiving all my marital assets. Honey, I'll definitely sign it, but the funeral home is urging me to go sign for the cremation. Can I come back and sign it later? I pretended to be trembling with fear. Sure enough, when Jack saw me like this, he reached out, pinched my face, and twisted hard. I know you don't dare to resist. Go and come back quickly. Thank you, honey. I also knew that this contract was just a temporary lifesaver for me. Even if I didn't sign it, he had already contacted someone to kidnap me from the computer in his study, planning to stage a hero rescue, making me immersed in his gratitude and willingly hand over the company. Since he was unkind, I would be unrighteous. Before luring him into my trap, I took the address given by the detective and found the man who was supposed to kidnap me. The information said his name was Tom. He had come to New York to work, but his son Leo had leukemia and needed a blood transfusion. Now, he was the only one working outside to earn money, and the high medical expenses forced him to take the risk. Jack had promised Tom $200,000 after the job was done. The one who opened the door was his son Leo. His sickly face was covered by a mask, and he looked very vigilant when he saw a stranger. "Who are you?" His childish voice made me feel a little unbearable, but there was no way. I had to survive too. My name is Isabella. I run a biopharmaceutical company. This is my business card. I took a business card from my bodyguard behind me and handed it to the child. Are you alone at home? Where are your parents? I glanced around the shabby apartment of less than 10 square meters. The simple furniture only included a table and a bed, and there were many cardboard boxes on the floor. My mom went to buy groceries, Leo said. Who are you? A sharp voice came from behind me. I was startled and turned around. I saw a tired-looking short woman who looked 7 or 8 points like Leo. I guessed she was Tom's wife, Mary. You can find news about my charity work on your phone. I help one family every year. I saw the help request posted by your husband, so I brought people here to learn about the situation. Upon hearing this, Mary looked at me suspiciously. Her phone was still an old flip phone worth only $100, which couldn't access the internet at all. My colleague behind me handed her a business card. A lawyer? Mary quickly invited us in. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming. There's nothing good to treat you at home. I'll go buy some fruits. Please, sit down first. Looking at Mary, who was at a loss, I felt a little unbearable. Isabella. Tom pushed open the door, saw me, and stared wide-eyed. Mary quickly stepped forward and pushed her husband. What are you talking about? Don't be so rude to the boss. She then turned to me and smiled apologetically. I'm sorry, Tom is just a bit reckless. I signaled my colleague to open the money box and put it on the floor, my eyes fixed on Tom. My purpose here today is simple. Your child is ill and meets the conditions for our funding. This is $200,000. $200,000. Tom's body shook. In the original plan, Jack only gave Tom $50,000 to kidnap me and make me disappear. I didn't believe Tom wouldn't be tempted. Time seemed to stand still. Tom's eyes were fixed on the money box. Mary's legs were also trembling, and her voice shook unconsciously. Honey, we have money for the surgery. But Tom suddenly pressed down on the money box, his face grim. Ms. Isabella, can we talk outside? I nodded. Under Mary's disbelieving gaze, he picked up the money box and walked out of the house first. After we walked to an empty lot where no one was around, Tom's eyes turned fierce, and he reached for the knife tucked behind his waist, ready to attack at any time. The atmosphere suddenly became tense. What exactly do you want? I know Jack promised you $50,000 to kidnap me. I also found relevant evidence. As long as I hand this evidence over to the police, how many years do you think you'll be in prison? Your son is waiting for you to come out alive. When Tom heard that he might go to prison, he knelt down with a thud and burst into tears. He told me to kidnap you and lock you up for 2 days. When he comes to rescue you, he'll give me the money. My wife can't have children anymore. The Tom family can't have no heirs. I had no choice but to agree to do such a heinous thing. I had no way out. Watching this 7-foot-tall man cry bitterly, I hated Jack even more. He had destroyed 2 families and 6 lives. I said, I'm here to give you money today. If $200,000 is not enough, you can contact my colleague, but you have to promise me one thing. Continue with Jack's plan to kidnap me, temporarily raise the price to lure him here. I want you to record his criminal evidence, and of course, I'll cooperate with you. I took a voice recorder and a camera from my bag and stuffed them into his arms. After it's done, your child will get the best treatment, and no one will know you did anything illegal. Tom chose to listen to me. As long as he could save his child, he was willing to risk his life. Deal. The bait was set, waiting for the fish to take the hook. After I got in the car, my friend sent me a message saying everything was arranged. My friend helped me find Sophia and revealed to her that Jack had no intention of divorcing me at all. He just wanted the child in her belly. This made her so angry that she had a threatened miscarriage. Knowing Sophia's personality, she would definitely call Jack to accompany her in the hospital, which would give me time to act alone. Inside the abandoned warehouse in Brooklyn, Tom tied my hands and feet with ropes, pulling to check the tightness. I tied a slip knot behind you. Just reach out and pull and it will loosen. Tom took out his phone, pressed the record button, and nodded to signal me to start. I gathered my tears and cried into the phone screen. Honey, save me. He wants $600,000. Otherwise he'll kill me. After recording, he sent it to Jack, and the rest of the time we waited quietly for his call. Jack was accompanying Sophia for a checkup at the hospital. When he saw the video, he immediately called back and asked to talk to Tom alone. Fool. Who told you to kidnap her now? And didn't we agree on $50,000? What do you mean? Mr. Jack, I'm taking a risk to do this. This price is already very cheap. I can't give you $600,000. At most, $100,000. Isabella's life isn't worth that much. Tom said fiercely, Okay, that's the price. Find a way to bring the cash yourself. You know the address. If you don't come, we'll go to jail together. Beep. The call hung up. Jack was lost for words. He was afraid that if he didn't give the money, the matter would be exposed and he would go to jail. Although he couldn't take out that much money, he could take the opportunity to bring the document for me to sign, kick me out, and when Sophia gave birth to the child, the 3 of them could live together. Thinking of this, Jack drove to the warehouse as fast as he could. Seeing me tied up, he pretended to be distressed and nervous. Bella, don't be afraid. I'm here. Honey, save me. Tears streamed down my face and I looked like I was on the verge of collapse. Tom held a knife against my neck and started acting. Mr. Jack, we agreed on $600,000 in the video. Not a penny less. If you give 1 penny less, your wife will suffer more. I can't take out that much money now. Even if I transfer it from the company, there's a process. Not to mention it requires both parties' signatures. Jack punched himself in the chest in remorse and paced back and forth, anxiously. Are you saying you don't want to give the money? Tom grabbed my neck like a madman. Do you believe I'll kill her right now? I thought the time was right and cried to him. Money can be earned again. I'll sign any document now. Please save me. When Jack heard this, he quickly took out the document from his bag and threw it to Tom. I've already signed it. After my wife signs it, you can get the money. Can you let her go first? Sign it. Tom directly flipped the contract to the last page. Jack didn't let go of his heart until I signed it. Having gotten what he wanted, Jack took the document and stopped pretending. That's enough, Tom. I'll transfer the $100,000 to you later. As for you, Isabella, you're as stupid as your parents. His sudden words shocked both me and Tom. Before I could guide him, he said it himself. What do you mean? Honey, what are you talking about? I pretended not to understand. Jack held up the contract in his hand and shook it, smiling proudly. I only married you because I was after your inheritance. Otherwise, I would never have married you. Those 2 old guys died too soon. It's a pity they didn't see this. You have nothing now. You can't live without me. If you're obedient in the future, I'll give you a way to live. You'll still be my good wife, and I'll still be your good husband. So you planned my kidnapping too, I shouted angrily. I planned it all. but it was a little earlier than scheduled. But I still got what I wanted, my good wife. After Jack finished speaking, he turned around to leave. Catch him, I ordered Tom. Jack, who hadn't reacted yet, was knocked to the ground, watching me walk towards him. Isabella, you, Jack's voice was hoarse because his throat was pressed. You tricked me, in those eyes that had pretended to be affectionate in front of me, countless times. There was only panic and disbelief now. I knelt down, picked up the contract that he had waved proudly just now, and tore up my signature in front of him. Trick you? I chuckled. Compared to you marrying me for money, cheating on me with my best friend, and even kidnapping me for money, what are my little tricks? Jack's body stiffened suddenly. Tom noticed his movement and increased his strength a little more. Tom, I'll give you money. As much as you want. Let me go quickly. Jack looked at Tom with begging eyes, trying to find a way to fight back. The sound of police sirens came from far to near outside the warehouse, and the police would be there soon. You called the police? Jack's face turned pale as paper. You can't do this to me, Isabella. We were husband and wife after all. Husband and wife. I interrupted him, took out the voice recorder from my pocket, and pressed play. His roar came clearly from it. I only married you because I was after your inheritance. The voice echoed in the empty warehouse, every word convicting Jack of his crimes. He trembled his lips, trying to defend himself. No, that's not what I meant. I made a slip of the tongue. A slip of the tongue. I stood up and looked down at him. Save your lies for the police. The blue and red police lights shone through the broken windows, reflecting on Jack's terrified face. He suddenly struggled frantically, like a trapped beast. Isabella, you bitch, you'll die a terrible death. When the police restrained Jack, he was still cursing nonstop. When the cold metal cuffs clamped around his wrists, Jack finally calmed down. He looked up with venomous eyes. You'll regret this. I ignored his threats and watched the police take him away. Afterwards, I transferred the money to his wife's account in front of Tom, and medical experts would come for a consultation in the afternoon. Tom hid his emotions and said awkwardly, "Actually, I didn't help you much. If it weren't for you, you helped me." I thought for a moment and said, I can keep this matter a secret for you, but Jack will definitely frame you. Think about whether you want to run or turn yourself in and tell me. Now go back and see your child first. Tom nodded. When he turned around to leave, he suddenly looked back and said, Leo is a good kid. I'm not a good role model. I understood immediately. I was alone in the warehouse. And only then did I find that my hands had long been clenched white. A few days later, the police called and asked me to go to the police station. When I arrived, the police handed me a file bag. This is what we found in Jack's study. Take a look. Inside the file were a stack of photos and bank statements. The photos showed Jack and my best friend Sophia embracing intimately on various occasions, as well as some photos of them going on vacation behind my back. More importantly, the bank statements showed that Jack had frequently transferred money to an overseas account in recent years. The amount involved was huge, and the dates were all after major decisions of the company. There was a strong suspicion of embezzlement of public funds. He not only transferred assets, but also planned to sell the company's core technology to your competitor. But according to our investigation, that company is a shell company, and the actual controller behind it is Sophia. My fingers holding the photos trembled slightly. One was the man who had sworn to love me forever at the wedding, and the other was my best friend, Sophia. The two had colluded, betrayed me together, and even went to great lengths to plan an elaborate scam. Where is Sophia? I asked, my voice cold. She's in the hospital. We've sent someone to watch her. But because she's pregnant, she will be placed on probation outside prison later. Finally, the police told me that she wanted to see me. I fell silent for a moment and finally nodded. I agree. The smell of disinfectant in the hospital made me feel dizzy. When I walked to Sophia's ward, the police at the door verified my identity and let me in. Sophia was lying on the bed, looking weak. When she saw me, a trace of panic flashed in her eyes, which quickly turned into resentment. Are you very proud? You sent Jack to jail, and you're happy now? Listening to her hoarse voice, I smiled. A woman who was almost killed by her husband survived. How could I not be happy? I walked to the bed, looked at her swollen belly, and stroked it gently. Poor child. He won't see his father before he's born. By the way, does the child know that his father is a murderer? Does he know that his mother was a homewrecker and an accomplice? You're lying. Sophia tried to sit up excitedly, but I pressed her shoulder. Don't be excited. It's not good for the child. Am I lying? I took out my phone and played a recording. It was Tom who, according to my instructions, secretly recorded when Jack contacted him. It clearly recorded how Jack instructed Tom to stage the kidnapping scene, how he planned to make Sophia accidentally miscarry to gain my sympathy after the incident, and even discussed how to divide the company's assets after I waived all marital assets. I never expected that Jack would even want to harm the child in her belly. It showed how vicious his heart was. Sophia's face turned paler and paler as the recording played, and finally, there was only incredible shock. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. You're lying to me, right? Jack is not like that. He said he loved me. Sophia started crying and laughing. He clearly told me that after you divorced him, I would be his wife. Love you? I couldn't help sneering at her sophistry. The only person he loves is himself. You can help him get the divorce agreement, and even the child you're carrying is within his calculations, but you're still fantasizing about his love for you. I put a document on her bedside. This is the divorce agreement and property division agreement. All of Jack's assets, including the money he transferred from you, will be recovered in accordance with the law. Good luck. Sophia looked at the document, then at me, and burst into tears. Bella, I know I was wrong. I was just jealous that you had a better life than me and was confused. For the sake of our many years of friendship, let me go. When you got into my husband's bed, when you came to provoke me with your pregnancy, when you helped him plot against me, did you ever think about our friendship? I shook my head in disappointment. You're afraid of going to jail. Your desperate struggle now is useless. The law will punish you for me. Walking out of the ward, the sunshine couldn't dispel the chill in my heart. My phone rang. It was my lawyer calling. Miss Isabella, the court has accepted your claim. Jack is suspected of multiple crimes. Combined with several crimes, he will be sentenced to at least 20 years in prison, but Jack's lawyer has requested a psychiatric evaluation. Tell Jack's lawyer that the psychiatric evaluation can be done, but if it's found that he's faking it, add one more charge of malicious litigation. After listening, the lawyer sent a photo and said, in addition, I also found that Jack received a $1.5 million compensation, which was the accident insurance your parents bought. The police also found this under the floor of Jack's study. The photo showed a key stained with soil, with the letter B engraved on the keychain. It was a gift I gave to my father, and he said he would carry it with him forever. My parents' death was definitely related to Jack. Please submit this as physical evidence. In addition, help me check if the insurance adjuster who handled my parents' car accident received any benefits from Jack. After hanging up the phone, I leaned against the wall, feeling weak all over. I took out the old photo stored in my phone. It was me and my parents taking a photo by the beach in Miami. My father was carrying me. My mother was smiling beside me, and Jack was standing not far away, holding a camera and saying he would take a family photo for us. At that time, there was still sincere light in his eyes. If I had seen Jack and Sophia's true colors earlier, would all this have never happened? Those days of being deceived and hurt were like scars carved into my heart. I sorted out my emotions and turned around to walk out of the hospital. Later, I went to see Tom the day before he turned himself in. Tom was busy moving to a new apartment and was squatting on the floor wiping the walls. When he saw me coming, he scratched his head, looked at the slightly messy house, and hesitated to speak. The house is too dirty. It's okay, I interrupted him. I'm here because I have something to ask you. Tell me, when Jack approached you, did he say anything strange? I found a rag from the side and squatted down to wipe the walls with him. Tom kept busy while recalling. He said that as long as I tied you up, wait until Sophia's child miscarried, he could get all your property. He also said that your parents' insurance payout should have arrived. The rag in my hand paused. My parents' insurance payout? I had never received any notice. Tom, I looked up at him. Are you sure he said insurance payout? Yes, he also said. He said, it's a good thing. Your parents didn't write you as the beneficiary, otherwise it would have been cheap for you. My heart sank sharply. My father had always paid great attention to risk protection. How could he not name me as the beneficiary of the insurance? Unless, after saying goodbye to Tom, I found a relevant friend to check the huge accident insurance policy in my parents' names. There was an additional clause that the spouse of the child could collect it on behalf of the child. Jack had tricked my parents into signing the accident insurance policy, and after faking the scene of my parents' accidental car accident, he collected the money on my behalf. From the very beginning, this was an elaborate murder. He wanted not only my money, but also my parents' lives. Miss Isabella, Zhang Wei, the insurance adjuster who handled the car accident, has been detained. The lawyer's voice came from the receiver, a little solemn. We found a total of $400,000 transferred by Jack back to his account in 3 installments. It started to rain heavily outside, hitting the glass crackling. I seemed to see the rainy night when my parents had the car accident. Their car flipped over the guardrail and Jack's trembling shoulders when he hugged me. It wasn't sorrow, it was ecstasy after killing someone. Make Jongwei talk. My voice was unusually calm, but I could hear my heart pounding wildly in my chest. I want to know every detail of the car accident scene. After hanging up the phone, I drove to the auto repair shop in East New York. The archives room was filled with the smell of dust and the musty smell of old paper. When the administrator found the accident report at that time, the edges of the paper were already curled. The report said slippery road in rainy weather, vehicle out of control. But the attached photo showed the front of my father's well-maintained Mercedes severely deformed with suspicious brake marks. There's a problem here. I pointed to the direction of the tire marks in the photo. If the vehicle had lost control and hit the guardrail, the marks should be horizontal, not straight forward. The administrator leaned closer to look, frowned, and said, "Someone did raise doubts at that time, but Zhang Wei was the person in charge, and he insisted on handling it as an accident." I took out my phone to take a photo of the report. When I slid my finger on the screen, I suddenly noticed a list of items left at the scene in the attachment. In addition to my parents' personal belongings, there was an empty car perfume bottle that didn't belong to them. This detail was glossed over in the file at that time, but now it was like a bolt of lightning in my mind. Jack had a habit of using car perfume. His favorite one, Deep Sea, had a strong smell that made me dizzy and allergic. After a fight, he stopped using this bottle of perfume at home. I drove to the section of the road where my parents had the accident. The impact marks on the guardrail had long been covered with new paint, and only the weeds by the road grew unusually lush. After 3 hours of searching, I found something suspicious. I squatted down, pushed aside the grass, and touched a piece of broken glass in the soil. The edges were irregularly serrated, which was obviously not the normal fragmentation of the car window glass during a car accident. "Do you need help?" A sanitation worker wearing a straw hat passed by with a hoe, looking at me curiously. "Do you remember the car accident here not long ago?" I took out my parents' photo. "On the day of the accident, did you see anything unusual?" The sanitation worker squinted his eyes and thought for a long time, then suddenly slapped his thigh. "Oh, I remember. That day I saw a black car parked in the emergency lane. A man was walking back and forth beside the accident car, and he threw a bottle into the car." "What kind of bottle?" My heart was almost jumping out of my throat. "Square." The sanitation worker pointed to the bushes not far away. I thought he was throwing garbage at that time, but I didn't expect there to be a car accident. Deep in the bushes, I really found a metal bottle cap printed with the Deep Sea Romance logo. The afterglow of the setting sun shone through the gaps in the leaves, reflecting on the remaining fingerprints on the bottle cap. They were Jack's indelible criminal evidence. After thanking the sanitation worker, I returned to the city when it was getting dark. I went directly to the police station and handed all the evidence to Police Officer Lee in charge of the case. He looked at the bottle cap in the evidence bag and the transcript of the old man's testimony, and his face became more and more serious. "We will reinvestigate the scene immediately and apply for a review of Jack's psychiatric evaluation." Officer Lee stood up. "Ms. Isabella, we will definitely get to the bottom of your parents' case." Walking out of the police station, the hospital called. The nurse said Sophia suddenly had abdominal pain. Her condition was critical, and she asked me to go in to accompany her. When I arrived outside the delivery room, I heard the heart-wrenching cries inside. After putting on protective gear, I pushed open the door of the delivery room. The smell of disinfectant mixed with the smell of blood hit my face. Sophia was lying on the delivery bed, her hair wet and sticking to her forehead, her eyes as venomous as a poisoned snake. "You sent Jack to jail. Do you think you won? Jack has already backed up the company's core technology to my brother. When I get out, your company will still collapse." I took out the sealed document and showed it to her. "Are you talking about this? Your brother turned himself in with the backup hard drive yesterday. He said Jack promised him $1 million but only paid $100,000. Sophia's smile froze on her face, then turned into a crazy scream. "Impossible. You're lying to me." She was still stubborn. I didn't want to continue entanglement and left the hospital directly. On the day of the trial, the sun was particularly dazzling. I wore a black long dress and sat in the plaintiff's seat, watching the bailiff bring Jack into the courtroom. He had lost a lot of weight. His hair was gray, but his eyes were still sinister. When Officer Lee testified in court and presented the evidence from the reinvestigation of the car accident scene, Jack suddenly jumped up from his chair. "Lies. They're all forged. I didn't kill anyone." The judge struck the gavel. "The defendant, please maintain court order." "Isabella, you poisonous woman." Jack broke free from the bailiff's control and pointed at me, roaring, "If it weren't for your parents standing in the way, I would have already taken over the company. They deserve to die." The courtroom was in an uproar. I clenched my fists tightly, and my nails dug deep into my palms, until my lawyer presented the recording secretly made by Tom, which clearly recorded how Jack planned the kidnapping, embezzled public funds, and improperly collected the insurance payout for my parents' car accident. That old man bought $5 million in accident insurance, with Isabella as the beneficiary, but the additional clause said the spouse could collect it on behalf of the child. When they accidentally died, the money would be mine. After the recording was played, the entire courtroom fell silent. Jack collapsed on his chair, his face ashen. When Sophia, as an accessory, was brought in by the bailiff to testify, she didn't dare to look at me, just kept her head down and repeated, "He forced me. I didn't know anything." "You didn't know he was going to kill my parents? You didn't know he was transferring the company's assets?" I suddenly stood up, my voice trembling with anger. "Sophia, touch your conscience and say, over the years, you spent my family's money and wore the clothes I gave you. Didn't you feel the slightest bit of guilt?" Sophia suddenly raised her head, her face covered with tears. "Of course I felt guilty, but I was more jealous of you. Why do you have everything? Love, career, and..." She paused, looking at Jack with complex eyes, "and the love he pretended to give you." The trial lasted a full day. When the judge announced the verdict, I held my breath. Defendant Jack, convicted of intentional homicide, kidnapping, misappropriation of funds, and fraud, combined with several crimes, sentenced to death with a 2-year suspension of execution. Defendant Sophia, convicted of kidnapping and concealing or covering up criminal proceeds, sentenced to 8 years in prison. Defendant Tom, due to his voluntary surrender, active guilty plea, and provision of evidence, sentenced to 6 months in prison, suspended for 6 months. The gavel fell, and I relaxed my tense body. It was all over. Walking out of the court, the sun pulled a long shadow behind me. The company still needed to be rebuilt, and my parents' funeral was still waiting for me to arrange. I couldn't stop. In the days that followed, I was so busy that I didn't have time to catch my breath. After the meeting, it was already evening. I took a deep breath of fresh air. Mary said today was her son Leo's birthday and invited me to dinner at their new apartment. I carried a gift and went to their door. The one who opened the door was her son Leo. Unlike the poor appearance I saw before, his health was obviously much better now. Leo took my hand and walked into the house, not forgetting to tell Mary, who was cooking, "Mom, Ms. Isabella is here." Mary brought the dishes and said happily to me, come in. Today is Leo's birthday. He specially asked me to invite you to celebrate his birthday together." I tilted my head to look at Leo, handed him the gift I bought. "Happy birthday, little birthday boy." "Thank you, Miss Isabella." At the dinner table, Leo closed his eyes with his hands clasped together and happily blew out the candles. Mary asked, "What wish did you make?" "I hope my illness will get better soon, so that Mom won't be so tired and Ms. Isabella won't have to spend so much money." Such a simple wish from a child sounded particularly sincere. Mary had already shed tears for her sensible son, covering her face and crying beside her. Looking at his young face, my thoughts couldn't help but drift back to before. Two families that should have had no contact were entangled because of money. Mary told me that the doctor said Leo could be cured with standardized chemotherapy or hematopoietic stem cell transplantation in the early stage. This was the best result. I handed her a card. The password is Leo's birthday. It's also for the subsequent treatment costs. Later, when Tom was mentioned, Mary couldn't help but feel sad. At first, she didn't know that her husband had done such a bad thing until Tom came home after the incident. He confessed everything and decided to turn himself in. After leaving Tom's house, I went home, put down all my work, and planned to take an overseas trip for myself to see the aurora. My parents had said before that they wanted to see it, but they never got the chance. I took that family photo and boarded the plane. I used to think love and friendship were the most unbreakable things in this world, but I was pushed into the abyss by the man I loved and my best friend together. Greedy, selfish, and cruel, they sacrificed everything for profit, including 2 innocent lives. This nightmare showed me the darkest side of human nature, but it also taught me to be strong and clear-minded. I'm no longer that naive, weak girl. I'm Isabella, reborn from the ruins. I kept what my parents left behind, held fast to my bottom line, and never lost the kindness in my heart. Maybe growth means choosing justice even after betrayal, and still choosing to warm others after being hurt. Tom's change, Leo's kindness, they made me realize there is always goodness and hope in this world, a faint light that darkness can never swallow. My parents' love is always with me. All they ever wanted was for me to live well and live happily. I didn't win this revenge, and And I didn't lose it either. I only reclaimed what was mine and found peace for my parents' souls. The road ahead is long. The company needs to be rebuilt, and life must go on. I will carry their wishes and the strength I've gained through all this suffering and walk forward bravely. I'll see the auroras they always wanted to see and live the life I've always wanted. Dear, thank you for walking this difficult road of revenge and redemption with Isabella. If this story touched you, if you love this tense, emotional, and suspenseful plot, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support is my greatest motivation. I'll bring you more amazing stories soon. See you next time.